So in our last video we have seen that how we can initiate our Nuxt application, and we have seen the boilerplate, and we can see that this is the boilerplate UI that we will see after we have created the application or initiated the application. Okay. And in this video what we are gonna do, we are gonna create the navigation bar of our Amazon clone. Okay, so you can see that this is the boilerplate code that we have in our application. Okay, so firstly you can see that there is a layout folder, there is a components folder. Basically layouts folder is a thing that will keep our all the details. Okay, I'm gonna keep all the widgets that we are gonna create in this layout. So let's go to this layout and let me create a folder with the name partials. Yes. And inside this partial I will create nav bar dot view. And now we will create template. Basically template is a thing that is called by Vue.js application at the first time, or the Nuxt.js application. Okay. And after that we will add a script tag. Okay, let me remove the setup thing. It will be something like this only. And after this we will have a style. Okay, this will be just okay. So what we are gonna do, we have to create a division. We will create a division div. Okay, and inside this we will give it a class name that is the header, because this is the header. And then what we will do, we will go with the Nuxt link. Basically Nuxt link is a thing that will allow us to navigate from one page to another page. Okay, you can see the Nuxt link and it will have a 2. You will give the 2 as the link that you have to move on. And let me give it name as Amazon. Okay. And yeah, let's us first see. Let's go to our application and see. We don't have anything related to that. Okay, because the problem is that we have not called our application or called our navigation bar into our index.js. Okay, so how we can call our nav bar into our index.js? Firstly what we have to remove all these stuffs. Okay, I have removed all these things. Okay, and inside this what we will do, we will just call the name of that file. So before that we just go to your script tag and call your or import your navigation bar file. Import from, and it will go like this. You will have to go into the layouts, and layouts. Then you have to go the partials, then nav bar dot view. Okay, so we have to just give it a name, import, then I will give it a name as header. Okay, why showing error? Okay, no, it's not showing error. So now what we have to do, we have to classify this header as a component. So inside this curly braces we will go and say that component, and inside this we will say that header. Okay, this is the header, and now I will call this header here. Okay, and let's just save and see what happens. You can see that we have Amazon in our center and it is a link. You can see that it is a link. Okay, so for that to work properly, let me just remove these styles. Okay, and let us save it, and our application should be like this. Yeah, we have a Amazon at the top. Now what we have to do, we can go to this nav bar, and now we can give these things some more stuffs. Okay, what we can give, okay, we can just go here to the next of this Nuxt link. We will say that just create a div, and we will give it a class, and we will say that header search. I'm giving it a header search. Okay, and after that we will just say that input. I'm gonna create a input box. Okay, and inside this input box I'm gonna give it a class, and this class will be header. Okay, search input. Okay, search input, and its type will be what? Type will be just a text. Its placeholder, I'm gonna keep the placeholder as search an item. Okay, and after that I'm gonna create a I, that will be I class. Okay, we can use the material icons. I'm not gonna create the material icons right now. And after that, let me just create a class that will help us to for the logging part. Okay, login, sorry. So header, and inside the header we will give it a name nav. Okay, and now what we are gonna create, we are gonna create the first link. Okay, where you will see the user div, and inside this the class name will be class is equal to header. Okay, I'm gonna create the CSS. Afterward we have created the HTML part. So we will create a span, and in the span we will gonna create a class, and then we will gonna give it the name as header option and line 1, and we will say that hello, because if you are not logged into your Amazon account, you will definitely see this login. Okay, and after that we are gonna again see the span class header option line 2. Okay, then we will say that sign in. These all things will be linked inside the what you can say Nuxt link. Okay, okay, so we will have Nuxt link, and we will say that it at the starting it should go to the login page, and after this div I'm gonna create the Nuxt link. Okay, and then again what we are gonna do, we are gonna create the same thing, Nuxt link 2, and at the starting I'm just gonna call this to the home page, but afterwards we can call this to any of the page that you like. Div class name header, and then we will say that header options. Okay, okay, and inside this what we are gonna do, we are gonna just create the span, and it will have a class, and its name will be header option header option line 1, and after that we will say that return, because we also have a option of return, and again we will have a span class header option line 2, and it will have a term such as prime. Okay, so let us just save and see what we are getting. Okay, so you can see that we have something like this. Okay, you are just going to some place like hello, sign in, then page not found. Okay, because we have not created a login page, but it is something like this only. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to give this thing a structure or a good color. Okay, so what we will do, we'll just say that header, because we have this header. And this header we will give a background color. Okay, so background color will be this is a code that I already have. So #131921. Basically this is the color of the Amazon background. Okay, this is the thing, you can see that. Okay, now we will say that insert flex, we will say that display is flex, display should be flex. And now we will say that align item will be at center. And then we'll say that width is equal to 100%. Okay, so you can see that we have some content. Okay, you can see that we have some content. Now what we have to do, okay, now what we have to do, we have to go with the header search. So header, I'm gonna say the header search, and I will say that display flex, and then I'm gonna say the align item as center, and then I will say that flex, because I want this search bar to be part of majority. Then height will be 20 pixel. You can just play with this thing for the most of the stuff. Okay, so you can see that we have this thing at the right. All this stuff has been shifted to right. Header search. Okay. And now what we have to do, we have to just go with the header search input. Header search and input. Okay, so what we will do, height will be 15 pixels. Okay, and then padding will be approximately 10 pixels. Okay, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna say the width is equal to 100%, and then border is equal to none. And now let's see what we have. You can see that now our input box has covered the most of the page. Okay, now what we will do, we will just go to the navigation part. Okay, before that, let us come to this point and just give this Amazon a image, because in Amazon we have a image. So I'm gonna create a img and src will be a URL. I'm gonna give this URL. I already have this URL. Okay, and it will be like this. And then what we'll have, we'll say that class, we're gonna give it a class as header logo. Okay, and we will set it alt will be just a random text. Okay. And now we will come to add the code part, and now we will say that header, and we will say that logo. In this header logo, we are going to say that object fit, so that we should be able to contain the object. Object will contain margin top should be 10 pixels. You can optimize this code as per your size. But I'm gonna just give it like this because I love this way. Okay. Now we can say that cursor is equal to pointer, and we will say that width is equal to 100 pixel. Let's save and see what we get. You can see that we got a Amazon logo. Okay. Now we have to play with these things. Okay. So we have to come here and say header, and we will say that option, and inside this option we will say that display, display should be flex, and flex direction should be column. Okay, we will say that margin left should be 10 pixel, and we will say that margin right should also be 10 pixels. Okay, and after that what we are gonna do, we are gonna say that okay, yeah, save it. Okay, we have something like this. We have everything in a stack format. Okay, so let's see what we have done wrong. One thing we can do is that we can also give this class Nuxt link as class header link, class as header link. Okay, and we can give this header link a color, okay, so we can just go to the header link and say that color should be white and text decoration should be none. Okay, so you can see that we got something like this. Now we should go to the point like okay, one sec, let me just remove this. Okay, so you can see that we have a hello sign in and that. Okay, so the issue with that thing is that we have to write code for this header options, and we have one thing as option and we have one as options. So we have to write this thing as this options. Okay, so you can see that everything is piled up. Yeah. Now what we have to do, we have to go with the header nav. Okay, we can go with the header nav. Header nav, and inside that we can say that display flex, and now we can say that justify content should be spaced evenly. Okay, so now you can see that this is our Amazon clone nav bar. Okay, this is somewhat is equal to the Amazon clone navigation bar. Okay, if you compare this, you can find that there are some modifications that need to be done, but they will be done in future because there are many of the things that we have to import but that we haven't imported yet. But this is to some point you can say that 60% is equal to the Amazon clone navigation bar. Okay. So now what we have to do, we have to edit this something more. We have to create this second navigation bar for the other stuff. Okay, and we will do that in next video. Okay, I hope you understand how we have created this navigation bar, and you can see that this is to some point responsive. Okay, and the code will be given in the description below, GitHub code, so you can just visit that link, and just if you like our content, you can give it a star. Okay, yeah, that's all for today. Thank you.